Hello, let's have a look at game 10 of the World Chess Championship match. King leader with white, Nepo with black. And yeah, yet again, King leader is sort of, playing interesting openings with white, trying to get, test diplomacy here and there with kind of one-off tries, like his h3, playing some English, some Nimso, interesting lines. And here he goes for the 4 knights. Now, in the data leak, where the training accounts were discovered, he did have a game with this, which he was maybe intending. Game 9, I found a Leech's account, iRobot3. And that account had position we had in game 9, and also had an English opening where he played e4. So it could be another training account. People haven't talked much about this, but it's quite possible. Could be a coincidence, but he seems, yeah, at least suspicious. Anyway, bishop to c5 was played here. This allows us to play kind of a forcing line here, take on e5 and play d4. We win the piece back, but I can play this. A very forcing line here, queen f3. We take, and white takes on these double pawns, but he has a lead in development, mostly because, well, he's ready to place his bishops aggressively, castle, while black, has some problems. He has an exposed kingside and some problems with development. But this bishop c5 move came as a bit of a surprise for Ding, and you can see that on the time spent, like 1:58, he spent some 10 minutes on queen g3. King f8 came quickly here, fast computer move. If you castle this bishop h6, bishop g5 is also strong. So Nepo seemed well prepared here, and no surprise because actually Nepo had this position with the white pieces in an online game not too far ago. And here Nepo with white, in that game he played h4. But new move from Ding, he castles, and now this move h4. He moves, big pressure here. Black can't relieve it because queen check here, pick up the rook. So g5 very forcing, and now we have to take on d6. We have mass trades, and white does have a pawn. However, this extra pawn is doubled and isolated, and it's hard to make this 3 against 2 here on the queen side count. Bishop e6, normal move, bishop output pressure here, and white plays f4. King 7, rook retreats, we have a trade, and he wants to put pressure on this pawn. If you can get that, he will get a pass pawn, and something to work with. But h3, of course, and g4, and now Nepo activates his other rook, rook c8, king f2, and he goes for the 8 pawn, rook a5. White has to defend it with the bishop, and white being up a pawn, the pawns are doubled, and we have a lot of pawns kind of under attack here by black. So it takes us time to try and win this 8 pawn. Seems really difficult to do. And it looks like all the pieces are kind of optimally placed or can't really go anywhere else. And even though the rook got in here, bishop d7 looks fine, but Nepo found another way. He played rook c5, gave up the 8 pawn for the c pawn, which looks like it's a concession because white got rid of the double pawn, so he's up a pawn here. But Nepo had calculated nicely. He has the move bishop to b3 here. White kind of has to take, and then rook c3 wins a vital pawn. And even though after the trade of a and b pawns, which happened here, 2 against 1 here is very drawish, and in fact, f5 is very strong here, forcing another trade. And after that, it's only a pawn. It's a flank pawn, a rook pawn, and you can't win with that, so a draw is agreed here. And I think, according to my chess-based search, and it looks to me like this is the first time in World Championship history that we have the bare kings on the board. Seen it a lot in top-level tournaments, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first time we see 2 bare kings in a World Championship match. That was game 10. See you soon.